So I guess it's that time where we do another update video. I am kind of starting to have a reaction. As you can see, there's color changes happening in my face. It's been a really long couple of months. It's been a long year, to be honest. Like, working on the documentary has taken a lot, and it's a lot more work than I ever anticipated it would be. It's not just one more thing that's added to my repertoire of things to do. It's a daily and weekly and monthly thing that I have to keep up with. I have to keep up with meetings, talking to people that are a part of it. I have to work on it in itself. There's just a lot that goes along with that whole process. Like, a lot of the time people see a finished product, right? They see a finished video on YouTube that has all the editing done, they have the music overlaid or whatever they put on top in the film itself, whether it's like a movie for, high production, or if it's something like a documentary, which can also be high production. Mine's lower budget, obviously, because I'm a first-time filmmaker, but even stuff like putting graphics on it, like the words you see, like, it would say like Bill and Ari by my name, like on my screen at the bottom or whatever. Things like that. There's a lot of things like credits and a lot of things that I didn't really think about going into it initially. And it is a lot of work. And on top of that, I'm trying to do other things. Like, I'm trying to make content here on the internet, which is a very daunting task at times because I have my hand in so many different pots. And the reason I have my hand in so many different cookie jars, or whatever you want to call it, is because there's a lot of things I'm interested in. I'm not just interested in doing vlogging content. I'm not just interested in horror content. I like Fortnite, I like Overwatch, I like art, I like doing FX makeup. I am a multifaceted person, as most of us are, and this whole idea of niching down, I totally understand to like one degree, but I've seen it kind of implode on people like content creators because they end up getting bored with their own content. They end up getting bored making what they're making because it's always the same thing day in, day out. And it gets exhausting. They're only known for that one thing, and therefore that's all they can make on the internet. So I don't want to pigeonhole myself that way. I want to be able to have different avenues of creation that I can explore and do, because I will continue to do that outside of the internet. I will continue to make content and work on content that has to do with everything. So I guess that's also like my statement in a way, that I'm going to be making different content. And if you like me as a person, you understand that I have different facets to who I am, and that is why I create so many different things, because I get bored, but I also enjoy doing different things instead of doing the same thing all the time. I am finding that I'm unable to sleep really lately. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. Like, I know there's a lot of norepinephrine in my body because of the hyperPOTS, and that's something that keeps me awake a lot because I have that high adrenaline type stuff going on in my body. So it makes it really difficult to stay, what's the word? Stay asleep, I guess, It's really hard to stay asleep. So I wake up all the time, and because my body is in this chronic fight or flight response kind of state because of the hyperPOTS, it's like, what do you have to do when you're in that state? Well, a lot of people have to go to the bathroom. Like, if you're scared, you have to go to the bathroom. It's like, oh no, I have to go pee, right? Like, I'm scared, I have to go pee. That's generally what happens, because your body is like, oh no, we're trying to get the fear out of you, so to speak. We're trying to help you out here, but it doesn't actually help you out, if anything, it hinders things. So having to go to the bathroom numerous times throughout the night is not helping me sleep either, because it's like my body's waking me up, and it's like, oh, go do this thing, and it's like, no, I want to rest. So there's that. And I did go to the eye doctor recently, like an ophthalmologist, and because of a family history of glaucoma, cataracts, and macular degeneration, I need to have my eyes checked more regularly. I need to have my pressures checked because my pressures are higher in my eyes, which is something that I don't want. I don't want to have to add another diagnosis to my massive list of diagnoses. And I talk about like the main ones, like the big, EDS, mast cell activation, hyperPOTS here on the channel, but I do have other conditions as well that are, I wouldn't say of lesser importance. Some of them are more well known, like asthma as an example. Asthma is something that a lot of people know what it is, and I have that as well. So it's kind of like it's getting added to that list of the other things that I have going on. And I'm hoping that I don't have glaucoma. but I know that there's a big risk factor for me having it, and I can't put my head in the sand and just wish I don't have it. I need to do what I need to do and do my due diligence to go to the doctor and have my eyes checked regularly so that I can make sure that if the pressures are going up, that they can do some sort of preventative palliative care treatment so that I can essentially maybe not have it get to a really bad point, right? So there's that. So that was a little kind of depressing and anxiety inducing, as most potential diagnoses usually are, and then you have to go back through that grieving process again. I've also been delving into tons of therapy as of late, and I'm extremely grateful for the ability to go to therapy online and have conversations with a therapist that is understanding and can see stuff from my perspective as well as other people's perspective that are in my situation and help me come to conclusions about things, whether it's past relationships or things that are happening now. And just the aspect of healing oneself and how much I treasure that, how much I look forward to becoming a better and more healed me so that I have the capacity to help other people even more so. Because at the end of the day, I have all of this knowledge and all of these things in my toolbox, and I want to be able to help other people. Like I've said numerous times on this channel, I want to help other people not feel alone. I want to help other people feel heard and understood, and that's a big reason why I started that podcast, Chronic Conversations, is to have conversations with other people. It's literally just like hanging out, having conversation at times, and other times it's having people share their story, which is very important. I think all of us deserve to be seen and heard and understood and taken seriously because our voices are just as vital as those who do not have health problems. The health privileged and the chronically ill should live, equally and be of equal importance. And that's something that I've talked about numerous times is how people with chronic illnesses are viewed as lesser people, because I'm even seeing that myself again lately, how people are, blowing me off for their health privileged friends or, not making time for me because they figure that I am not worthy of their time because I'm chronically ill, or that I'll always be available to them and I will not. Like that kind of mentality of, oh, you're sick, therefore that means you're always going to be available when I need you. No, I will not. Because I have stuff I am doing. I have dreams that I want to achieve, things I'm working towards, goals I have deadlines for certain things I've been working on, and I'm going to continue to work on those things because those are things that are important to me. And if people want to make time for me in their life, they will. But if I continue to reach out to people and there is no meeting me on a common ground, so to speak, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time on someone that is disinterested in me as a person. And those kinds of people are not kinds of people I need in my life. And if people are understanding and supportive of what I'm doing, which is making content on the internet as an example, and making a documentary film, if people are supportive of that, they're going to be there through that journey. They're going to see me go up and down and not have a static existence. And those are the kind of people I want to keep around, like my community, like you guys, because you guys come, you watch my videos, you interact with me on here, you interact with me on Twitch, you interact with me in the Discord. Some of you send me messages, which I really appreciate. And I feel bad when I can't always get back to them because sometimes I read the message and then I get brain foggy and then I forget to respond. And that has also been an issue in the past where people have tried to make me feel guilty about not responding, and it's then I have to explain I'm chronically ill, I do not have the kinds of energies that everyone else has. That's why there's that whole iteration of the spoon theory, and that's something that actually helps a lot of people explain to health privileged people what it's like to be chronically ill, that we don't have the same amounts of energy. But I don't find that there's an in-between in any of that. I find that there's people that are supportive and that will be there, and then there's people that will not and will do everything to try to squash every bit of hope and every bit of passion that you have about something. So it's supportive, totally believe you can do it, know that someday you're gonna, bust through the walls of reality or whatever and fulfill your dream, and then nope, don't believe in it at all, and I'm going to make sure that you eventually don't believe it. Those are the two extremes of people that I've met. I've never met someone that's in between or neutral or indifferent. It's always one or the other. And that's why I really appreciate this community, because you guys are super supportive. You guys encourage me by commenting on my videos, kind things, and it means so much to me as someone who is stuck at home most of the time. So thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to watch my content and interact with me, because you guys have really helped me through a lot of stuff. Like, you've helped me more than you may realize, and honestly, I don't know where I would be without being on the internet at this point. I don't think I would be as well-rounded, as composed, as dedicated to working on myself if I didn't have a supportive community. So thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.